Hello YouTubers and chess fans, it's Mike, welcome to my new chess video. In this game I will show you one small middle game strategy idea, and that's the idea about making restriction with bishop pair against rook in the corner in order to hinder development of that rook. This is the game between Vasily Smyslov and Alexander Tolush, which is played in 1961, and it's pretty hard to say which opening is used in this game because there are a lot of transpositional possibilities, and so it's difficult to be precise about naming the openings. This game could be called as Queen's Gambit or Terror Defense or, for example, Catelyn Opening, and Chess Games website have chosen to call it an anti-Nimzo Indian defense, which is a little unusual but reasonably accurate. And Vasily Smyslov holds white pieces and he opened with d4, knight f6, c4, e6, and knight f3. This is the key move in white position and opening preparation for this game because white left knight b1, knight at home um, for the moment in order to put black out of preparation. Why he did that? Because Alexander Toulish is well known player for Nimzo Indian defense. So this continuation, knight c3, bishop b4, threatening to double these two pawns on c file, e3, black castles, bishop d3, this is main line for Nimzo defense, d5, knight f3 now, c5, and for example white castle. This is Nimzo Indian defense, and black is generally prepared to concede bishop pair, this bishop pair, for doubling the pawns on c file. That static weakness of two pawns on one file uh, uh, provides black some dynamic compensation, and he is ready to play against these center squares on d5 or and f4, and even if black if white for example recapture with the piece and avoid this static weakness with pawns, black is still has a solid game, and black will aim to close the position to reduce scope of the white bishops. To this end, black must blockade the white pawn center from advancing and neutralize white attacking chances on queen side. All this important to understand why Vasily Smyslov played f knight f3, this move, and try to put Toulish out of preparation, and he of course succeeded in that attempt. d5, still waiting for knight to c3, but now is going one more transposition, and this is going to something between English and Catalan opening, and c5, trying to put back to Toulish defense, c takes d5, and knight takes d5. If for example after c takes d5 black plays e takes d5, bishop g2, bishop e7, white castles, black castles, d takes c5, and after bishop taking c5, this is pretty good continuation for white because this is playing against Isolani, against isolated pawn in the center of black, and with blocking or with e3 or with the knight, and there will be soon three attacks on this pawn. White is better, and the black will only have chance to hold for the draw here. Because of that continuation, knight is going to see knight. Because of that, knight takes d5, and now bishop g2, knight c6, white castles, bishop e7, knight c3, and black avoids any complication in the center and potential changing of the pawn structure, and he takes with the knight, b takes c3, black castles, and rook is going to half open file b1. Queen is going to a5, attacking the pawn. Queen is going to b3, protect the pawn, rook to d8. In this variation it is very important to play first rook on d8 before grabbing this pawn with c taking d4, because of this continuation c takes d4 and now rook d8. Now some good continuation for the white with rook d1, and white gets two central healthy pawns in the center with no compensation for black on queen side attempts. So in this case first rook is going to d8 and bishop, of course, developing with the b4, and this is the important moment in the game in this video. This is this small strategic idea in the middle game, and white puts bishop at adjacent diagonals. That is a powerful weapon, and the total point is to restrict moving of a rook and to stop any future black queen side development. C takes now d4, knight takes d4, this bishop is alive for a moment, knight takes d4, and we will stop for a moment here in this position in previous move. There is a small tactic for black which is of course unfounded. So what will happen if this pawn supported with the knight attack these two pieces? Then white, as answers, has one great continuation with knight c6 simple. He attacked, he forks queen and the rook, and after b takes c4, which is forced, bishop takes c6, attacking the rook, and after and the rook cannot go to b8 because of queen can capture the rook, and after this continuation white wins the exchange. So in this case black's played knight takes d4, c takes d4, rook takes d4, and for a moment black is one pawn ahead, but only for a moment because of bishop takes b7, bishop takes b7, queen takes b7, attacking the rook and attacking the bishop. And as you can see, Toulish is far away from Nin's Union defense and the style which he used to get with. Position is open, and if you compare with Nin's Union defense strategy with close game, with game overall board, and this position which is half open and playing on one side of the board, maybe all this leads Tolush to make his blunder in 16 move, and that blunder is of course queen d8 to protect bishop at the same time and the rook. So you can pause the video in this position and try to find a nice tactic for the white and to win the exchange. Okay, let's back to the video. Did you find this move? A beautiful move. Bishop interferes between the queen and the rook. And in this position black resigned. If rook takes bishop, then queen takes rook. Black can't avoid the trade because of king and queen, and after this continuation bishop f8 protect from checkmate, and white is better because he holds rook pair. Or for example, if black played, let's say for example, attacks for example the queen, then queen takes the rook, and queen can easily release from this corner. So in this position best move for black to hold this position was to play of course rook e8 to protect this bishop, but there I will show this to few continuations which are where black needs to defend pretty precisely in order to defend himself. Rook is going to c1, threatening to go to 7th rank. h6, making some loot for the king. Queen c6 attacking the rook. Queen a4 offering the trade. Rook b7 before the trade getting to the 7th rank. Trading the queens. And rook a4 attacking the pawn. Rook is going to c7, and now black need to decide what move to play in order to protect the bishop. Bishop to f8 or king to f8. If black plays king to f8, then there is an easy continuation for the white. He takes the pawn, and after trading the rooks, white gets one healthy pawn on a5 on the a file. So that is better for white pretty, or maybe this continuation offering the pawn, but by this variation. Rook takes f7, uh, rook takes a2, trading the rooks, and now white still holds one pawn more and he's one pawn ahead, but it will be pretty hard to it will be pretty hard to defend this position, but it will be also pretty hard to make progress and to win this position. But unfortunately for Alexander Toulish, he played a blunder in this position, and after the beautiful tactics he resigned. As you can see, preparation is important in chess. You need to have your own opening repertoire, but sometimes your opponent will try to put you out of those preparations in order to you feel uncomfortable with position, like Vasily Smyslov did to Alexander Tolush, and he successfully did it, and he succeeded in his attempt. If you like it, if you enjoy this video, please be free to leave comment below, and to press like or subscribe. I hope that you enjoyed and that you have learned something new from this video, and see you next time. Take care. Bye bye.